Yo, so what is up, everybody? We are back today with a brand new video. And for today's video, we are going to be doing a pretty interesting career sim, if I do say so myself. But before we fully hop into the video, it'd mean a lot. Everybody, please take a second, hit that like button, and subscribe if you are new. We are on that big road to 10K, and all that support, comments, likes, and subscribers will help us grow and grow and grow, and maybe even hit 10K by the end of the year. That is my personal goal. So if you guys want to help Bean get there, definitely do that. But here we go. We are going to be hopping into the 2021 NBA Draft. First overall selection is going to be, surprisingly, not Cade Cunningham. That's actually who I would have expected, as he actually ends up going number 2 overall to the Bulls. Number 3 overall, Terrence Clark goes to the Hornets. And where's our guy going to fall? Number 4 to the New York Knicks, Alex Antetokounmpo. Obviously the little brother of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And as crazy as this is, I really don't want this to seem like I did this purposely or I did this at all. Giannis signed with the New York Knicks over the offseason. I can go in and kind of show you their free agent signings just to make sure that you guys can see that it's real and legit. It's insane because why would Giannis ever really want to sign with the Knicks? But hey, I'm not complaining. Alex Antetokounmpo is going to be playing alongside his brother in New York. As you can see, he's actually not projected to get any playing time at this exact moment as the 11th man off the bench. But I will go in and show you guys over the offseason where the free agency signings happened, just so I can kind of prove it. I have everything on auto, so I did not touch this at all. After the NBA draft, I just simmed right to the regular season. So here we go. We are going to hop in. You can see transition history, and I'll go right over to the Knicks, actually, to show you guys that he did sign here in the offseason. So there you go. He signed that deal right there. 4 years, $144.5 million deal, which is insane. So we simmed the first season. Luka Doncic actually went ahead and got MVP. And who got Rookie of the Year? Rookie of the Year went to the first overall pick. So All-NBA first team, Giannis obviously makes it. I would like to see at least a rookie all-team. Oh, wow, Bol in the all-rookie team. That's kind of surprising. But we actually did not make the all-rookie first team or second team, which kind of sucks. But I think that may have been because of our super limited playing time. So we actually did make playoffs this year with the Knicks with 44 wins. That was somehow enough to scrape us together to get the 5 seed, which I'll take it, but definitely does not feel deserved. Giannis obviously went off this season, but let's see how Alex did, as really he did not get playing time at all. So that kind of sucks in year 1, but hey, some great players don't get that much playing time in year 1 of their career. As you can see by the way that he kind of came in the league, he's kind of a very raw talent. A lot of defensive capabilities and inside game, but his shot's not there. And he needs to work on a few other things, so that's why he wasn't the number 1 pick, but he was still a top 5 pick because of his potential. Round 1, the Knicks actually did take an L to the Hawks. As we now transition more into year 2, and Alex Antetokounmpo is up to a 79 overall, and he actually went from the 11th man on the bench, not starting, to starting at the 3, alongside his brother starting at the 4. Luka Doncic goes back-to-back and gets MVP once again, and so that's pretty interesting to see both Antetokounmpo brothers starting at both forward positions. All-NBA first team got Luka Doncic, Steph Curry. Definitely some talented players on there. Matisse Thybulle in the all-defensive second team. And I definitely want to check the defensive teams because I do think that our boy has a chance to get on there very soon. Obviously, Giannis popped off once again, but I'm very much more interested to see how Alex did in his first year of getting real playing time. 7.5 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, a steal and a block per game. Not awful, but he's definitely a solid presence out there at least, getting not so many points per game, but definitely solid rebounding numbers to go along with his really on-par defense. So first round, our matchup is against the Charlotte Hornets. So we'll see how this actually turns out. We are the 3 seed, they are the 5 seed. So we'll see what happens here as they get up on us 3-2. And we're going to have to see if we can pull it out here. 3-2, and we get knocked out 4-2. Definitely a tragic scene, but hey, this is a young team that is still growing together. As Alex Antetokounmpo has an okay game, 8-5, 2-1-1. Moving on to year 3, Giannis still at a 99, obviously. Alex is moving his way on up. Now 21 years old, 83 overall. Starting at the 3. He has no accolades so far. He has not made any teams, any All-NBA teams, any All-Star teams, none of that. Zion gets MVP. We could look at the All-NBA teams this year and see if maybe Alex made a team. So let's definitely check the defensive teams because that's where I would expect to see him first. And none there yet, as the Knicks do make playoffs once again with 45 wins. And how did our boy Alex do in year 3? So 9.9 points per game, getting up there a little bit more. 5.5 rebounds per game. Definitely still solid numbers, and his defense is elite. So first round matchup, once again up against the Atlanta Hawks. Obviously with Trae Young and some other shooters. So we'll see what we can get done here. We get up on them early, 2-1. They get a game back. We don't love to see it. 3-2. Come on, let's just knock them out here. Let's not make it go to Game 7, and it's going to Game 7. So it is spooky season as we do knock them out, so we will take that for sure. Giannis dropping 25, but Alex dropping 21. 21 points. There we go. That's the most I've seen Alex drop so far, so that is a huge W. Going up against the Nets with a healthy Kevin Durant in the second round, so this is going to be a tough matchup. We're going to see if Alex can lock him down, and it's really not looking that way as we get eliminated 4-0. Looking at those stats, Alex, another great game, 17 points and 5 rebounds. Moving on to the big year 4, and already Alex Antetokounmpo, now at 22 years old, is up to an 86 overall. He still has a lot of flaws in his game that have to kind of get elevated, such as his shooting and some other things, but he is getting better and better. Obviously, Giannis, first All-NBA team. And let's check those defensive teams, because like I said, that's where I expect him to be first. None just yet. 4th seed in the Eastern Conference for the Knicks in year 4. And Alex Antetokounmpo getting that points averages up a little bit. 12.6 with 8.7 rebounds per game. Definitely getting closer and closer to that little double-double. First round matchup up against this Pistons squad. That, in all honesty, does not look that good to me. Crazier things have happened in 2K, but that is really not a crazy team by any means. We get up on them 2-1. They get a game back. I don't like this. 3-2. We are down by a game on this team that I don't think is that good personally. And can we at least make it a series? We get knocked out 4-2. That is rough. Look at the box score real quick. Wow, that's why. RJ Barrett dropped 47 points. That would be why. Okay, RJ Barrett, got something to prove out here. Alex Antetokounmpo now up to an 88 overall at the age of 23. Two-way scoring machine is what they kind of have his little archetype as. So definitely interesting to see him playing alongside his brother. But it probably does limit the team a little bit because both of their forwards can't really shoot the ball too well. As we see Anthony Edwards actually getting MVP with the San Antonio Spurs in year 5. If you guys did not catch his career sim, I will link it above right now. That was definitely a fire career to have simmed. So we still did not make any of the All-NBA teams. We did make a playoff spot once again as a mid-seeded team. Alex averaging exactly 10 points a game, 6.9 rebounds per game, 1.1 assists per game, and 1.2 steals per game. Still starting alongside Giannis. It'll definitely be interesting if Giannis ever leaves to kind of see Alex actually kind of take on the full role for this team. So first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Charlotte Hornets, and it's looking like it will be a pretty easy series as we are currently up 3-0, and we actually end up sweeping the Charlotte Hornets 4-0. Definitely want to check out those stats and see who went off that final game. Terrence Clark dropped 23, Dennis Schroeder 26, Alex Antetokounmpo 10 and 5, nothing crazy, but we can't complain too much about that. At second round, we are up against the Atlanta Hawks once again, and I feel like we've played them a lot in the playoffs already, as this time it does not go towards our favor. We get knocked out 4-0 and swept by the Atlanta Hawks in the second round. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. Alex Antetokounmpo 10, 7, 1, 1, and 1 actually, with 4 turnovers. That is not great. Trae Young dropping a 27 bomb. Year 6, here we go. Let's see what's going on in year 6 of this Knicks team. So Alex Antetokounmpo now up to a 90 overall. You can kind of see all of his stats there. Somehow he has a slightly better three-pointer than Giannis, but I don't see him really take threes like that at all. Still has not made an All-NBA team. We have Jabari Parker coming off the bench, actually. James Wiseman, MVP with the Golden State Warriors. You don't really see big men getting it too much anymore, so that's definitely interesting to see. He was averaging almost 30 and 15. That is crazy. First All-NBA team, nothing. Let's check the defensive teams real quick, and still no love to our boy Alex Antetokounmpo. 9.6 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game. Man, I would like to just see the kid take more shots or something, because he just does not. His averages as far as points go are super, super low. First round, we are up against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. And this is not that great of a team, so I would expect us to win. I did say that earlier about the Pistons and jinxed us, but we will see as we are up 3-1, and we can't blow a 3-1 lead. 4-1, there we go. Colin Sexton dropping 25, not enough to get it done. Alex Antetokounmpo 13 and 5, Giannis 17 and 10. Once again, second round matchup up against the Atlanta Hawks. They 4-0'd us last year, so let's not let that happen again, as we do get 2 games at least this time on them. 3-2, we take the lead. Can we knock them out? 4-2, let's go. Trae Young dropping 31. Big game from Giannis, 13 and 1 from Alex Antetokounmpo. Eastern Conference Finals, we are up against the Bucks, who do not have Giannis Antetokounmpo anymore. So this could be a big revenge game, or who knows. As we are down 3-2 currently, and we actually lose to this Bucks team 4-2. That is tough. 19 and 5 for Alex. A really good stat line for Giannis, but still not enough to get it done. As we move into year 7, Alex at a 91 overall, now 25 years old. Giannis still chilling at a 99. MVP this season actually goes to LaMelo Ball on the Minnesota Timberwolves, so that's kind of cool. Averaging over 32 points a game. Can we get some type of recognition finally? Maybe a defensive team or something, please. Please. There we go. We were on the all defensive second team finally. A little bit of love shown to Alex finally. And to go along with that, we actually did finish as the number 2 seed in the East. Obviously, Giannis is still leading this team in scoring, but let's see how Alex did this year. 11.5 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, 1.3 steals per game, and 1.4 blocks per game. Not too shabby. First round matchup, we're up against the Pacers, who do still have Malcolm Brogdon hanging around, running their point guard position, as they are the 7th seed. So we'll see what happens as they get up on us early, 2-1, 3-1, and it's not looking great for us. 4-1, we actually do get eliminated. That is tough. And Alex Antetokounmpo having a very good game, 18 and 10. Giannis 16. Could not get it done. Year 8, Alex Antetokounmpo 92 overall, 25 years old. Giannis 33 years old, still chilling at a 99. And I'll show you what the little rotation's looking like still. Schroeder still running our point guard position at an 86. MVP once again actually goes to LaMelo Ball. So that's actually pretty interesting to see. He's been a huge bucket getter. And if you guys have not seen his career sim, I will leave it above right now, because that was a very, very interesting one. As we do finish once again the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. First team all defense and second team all defense now are the nods that Alex has gotten. 13.2 points per game and 7.3 rebounds per game, as being an absolute clamp god from that small forward position. First round, we're up against the Washington Wizards. We are the number 1 seed. They are the number 8 seed. So let's not let this upset happen. We get up early on them 3-1. Oh, they get a game back 3-2. And we knock them out 4-2. Thankfully, we do not have to go to a game 7. As Alex Antetokounmpo has a pretty lackluster game, 8 and 9. As we are up against the Boston Celtics in the second round with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So we'll see what we can do here. Early in the series, 3-2. 4-2. Boom, we're moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. I guess an okay game by Alex there, nothing too crazy. As we once again meet the Atlanta Hawks, this time in the Eastern Conference Finals. They get up early on us 3-1. We get a game back 3-2, and unfortunately, we do get knocked out in 6. Kyle Guy actually leading our team in scoring in that game, which is kind of interesting. As we move on to year 9 of this career sim. And in year 9, what is our squad going to be looking like? Is there any big changes that happen? Giannis still at a 99, Alex Antetokounmpo at a 94. Is Schroeder still running the point? Yes, he is. Dylan Windler actually starting at the 2-guard position now, which is kind of interesting to see. Take a look at Alex Antetokounmpo. Those are the nods he's gotten so far. Definitely not on Giannis's level by any means, but he's having a pretty solid career, clamping up at that small forward position. All-NBA first team, you do not see it. All-NBA first, all-defensive first team. Alex Antetokounmpo is actually right beside his brother for that forward position, which is definitely cool to see, as he averaged 12.4 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game, and had some good stat lines as far as his defense went once again. As we are up against the 7th seed Boston Celtics, we are the 2nd seed, so we did knock them out last year, but you never know what can happen in the NBA. As we get up early on them 3-0, and they get a game back 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, and I don't like this momentum as we just blew an absolute huge lead. That's tough. Alex dropping 9-9. We just cannot get it done, man. As we move into year 10, and this window is definitely closing for this Antetokounmpo brother championship, you would have thought it would be a super easy task to get Alex Antetokounmpo a chip if he's playing alongside his absolutely insane brother Giannis. But honestly, throughout the sim, it has not been that easy, even in the slightest. LaMelo Ball getting his third third MVP with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Looking at the all-defensive teams, Alex Antetokounmpo is right there beside his brother on the first all-defensive team. Once again, Giannis obviously leading this team in scoring, 99 overall still. Alex Antetokounmpo dropping 12.1 and 9.6, almost a double-double. It's surprising that his scoring still hasn't really got there, as he is now a 96 overall, but he does not like to shoot the ball very much, is kind of gist I'm getting from it all, as our first round matchup is up against Washington Wizards. So we'll see how this goes. We are the number 1 seed and they are the number 8 seed, but as you saw last year, crazy things happen in these sims. We get off to an early lead on 2-1, 3-1, and can we just knock them out here so we don't have to worry about it? And we can. 4-1. Giannis dropping 25 points, and Alex dropping 15 and 7. Second round, we are up against the Nets, who now have Trae Young, which is absolutely deadly. And Trae Young has knocked us out of the playoffs plenty of times, so I don't really like that at all. So we're just going to have to see if we can pull through and beat this Nets team. As we're up 3-2, Timberwolves have been eliminated with LaMelo Ball, but we are up 3-2, 4-2. We move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Giannis, big game. Alex Antetokounmpo really not doing much scoring still. We are up against the Hawks now, who don't have Trae Young, so I would definitely consider that a little bit of an advantage for us going forward. And boom, 4-1. We do knock them out. Love to see it. Alex Antetokounmpo 14 and 9, Giannis 23 and 7. Big games from both of them, honestly. And we're up against the Spurs and Anthony Edwards in the NBA Finals as we get up early 3-2. And we actually knock them out 4-2. Giannis gets MVP with 7 and 17. That is actually a pretty big game, getting 17 boards. I did mean to hop into that like I usually do for the playoff games, but I just did not catch it in time. That was my bad, guys. So I did not get to show you guys the actual gameplay. As LaMelo Ball gets himself yet another MVP this season. And I'm assuming the defensive team, we should be still chilling on there, as we are on the all-defensive first team. And we did make playoffs as the 7th seed this year. Jabari Parker actually still hanging around on this team, which is kind of interesting. Almost 14 points a game for Alex Antetokounmpo this year. So that is good. As we were up against the Miami Heat in the first round, which I don't think that we played them at all through the playoffs. So that should be a little interesting for me. So let's see, 2-2 and 3-2, and it's not looking great. Can we push it to 7? As we actually get eliminated 4-2, so that is a GG. Alex Antetokounmpo dropping 12, 5, and 2, as Giannis actually is the one that doesn't do very much that game. Alex actually taking 11 shots. So year 12, here we go. Alex Antetokounmpo at a 95 overall, followed by Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's actually interesting to see Alex is actually the number 1 overall ranked guy on our team finally. And Chet actually getting an MVP with the Philadelphia 76ers. So that is pretty interesting to see another big, dominant big man in Philadelphia. I'm guessing Joel Embiid has to be out of there by now. So that is interesting. James Wiseman still getting Defensive Player of the Year, of course. I would like to see Alex get one of those, as he is on the all-defensive first team once again. But it is a little tough for a forward to get Defensive Player of the Year. It's usually always a big man, as this year we actually missed playoffs. Alex putting up 12.1 and 9 rebounds per game as we move into year 13. The further we get along in this, the more regression you're going to see from Giannis. And the more Alex Antetokounmpo is going to have to step up, as Giannis is now only an 88. And Alex Antetokounmpo is now a 94. So I think it's only necessary that we actually see what he can do scoring-wise and put him as the number 1 scoring option now. So does he make a normal All-NBA team with this change? He actually still does not, but he does make the All-Defensive First team once again. And we were just missing the playoffs, so that's kind of tough. But you see a little glimpse of what he can do. He put up 20.2 points per game in year 13, so that is a huge jump for him, as he really is not used to doing that. So he's still the highest rated player on this team at a 93 overall. I'm going to leave it that way and kind of see what he can do, honestly, as last year he was a first-time All-Star with that little bump to make him the team's first scoring option. LaMelo Ball getting another MVP with the Timberwolves. Defensive team, of course, you're always going to see Alex on there, as we do actually make playoffs this year. But Alex Antetokounmpo still dropping 20 games, so I'll take it. Not the highest score on the team as Chris Livingston's here, but 20.5 points per game is a huge W for Alex. Starting to get his accolades up, 7-time All-NBA first defensive team member, which is kind of sick. First round matchup up against Cade Cunningham and the Toronto Raptors. So this should be a little bit of a tough matchup for us, I'm not going to lie. Cade Cunningham is a bucket getter, and his career sim will be coming definitely very soon, as him and the Raptors knock us out 4-0. So that's tough. Looking at the stats, Alex Antetokounmpo dropping 35 and 10, and we still lose the game. That sucks a lot, but it is nice to see him taking over 20 shots a game, honestly. It's kind of refreshing, but he is starting to regress a little. I noticed he is now down to a 91. He was a 94 2 years ago, as it's just surprising. I don't know why he's regressing already, but I guess his career wasn't supposed to be as long as his brother's was, or at least Giannis was at a 99 for like years and years. So no All-NBA team nods, and actually no defensive team nods, surprisingly. Looking at the stats, a big regression. Wow. He went from 20 to 10. 10 points per game, 7.8. Rebounds per game, nothing I could do about it, as at least he did get his chip, and he did have an MVP season. A lot of great defensive seasons as well. But who knows, maybe he'll have something in the tank, as our first round matchup is against the Philadelphia 76ers. So we'll see what we can do here, as they actually get up early on us 3-2. We bring it to 7, and in 7, we actually do knock them out, as our second round matchup moves on to Cade Cunningham and the Toronto Raptors. We're up 3-0. They get a game, and boom, 4-1, we knock them out in 5. Moving to the Eastern Conference Finals, we got the Bulls going to Game 7, and we get eliminated in 7, so that kind of sucks. But here we go. Alex Antetokounmpo at an 89 overall, still hitting that regression a little bit with 3 years left on his contract. So definitely not bad. We'll see what we can do this year, if we can scrape together maybe another championship run, but that would definitely be nice. Rudolph Leonard getting MVP with the Lakers. And do we make an all-defensive team this year? We do. We make the all-defensive second team, which I definitely can't complain about. Looking at the stats, still not averaging very many points. He's still on that kind of regression there. But definitely a very good defensive season, to say the very least. 1.3 assists per game, 1 steal per game. He always has been averaging at least 1 block and steal per game, which is pretty solid. We are the number 2 seed up against the number 7 seed Hawks. So here we go. We are up 3-1. Looking good, and there we go, 4-1. Knocking out the Hawks in the first round of the playoffs. Moving on to the second round. Antetokounmpo doing his thing. Nothing too crazy. 8-11. We will take it, though. So second round, we're up against the Philadelphia 76ers, who have really not too many names that I really still know. And I'm not sure if Chet's really on this team still, but he might be, as he obviously is an absolute beast. So we get eliminated 4-1. You don't love to see it. Antetokounmpo dropping 7-7, and he is past his prime. And I don't think Chet was on that team anymore, just an FYI. Now an 85 overall Alex Antetokounmpo, starting at that 3 position still, getting 27 minutes per game. Definitely on the downswing of his career, to say the very least. Rudolph Leonard once again gets MVP. No defensive team nod this year, which is okay. Do we make the playoffs? That's the good question here. So we do make the playoffs, 51 wins as the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Alex Antetokounmpo dropping 9 and 5.2. Still doing his thing on defense, though. Accolades are definitely pretty solid. Definitely a good NBA career, to say the very least. But he's no Giannis. He's definitely no Giannis. Cade Cunningham. We're up against Cade Cunningham and the Raptors once again, who we did bounce out of the playoffs just, I believe, last year. So we'll see what we can do as we get up on them early, 3-1. I mean, well, now it's 3-1. 3-2. And 4-2, we do knock them out. We will take that. Bang, bang, chicken wang. So Alex Antetokounmpo, really, once again, not a great game at all. But we're up against the Chicago Bulls in the second round. And this is kind of what the rotations are looking like for the playoffs. They actually have Alex Antetokounmpo coming off the bench as the 7th man. Sorry, not 6th man, 7th man. So he has had to take a step back, and that probably has to do a little bit with his stats. But if that's what you got to do to win, then that's what you got to do to win, as we actually do move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it must be working 4-11 for Alex. Good effort by the Bulls as we move on to the Eastern Conference Finals up against the Boston Celtics. So I definitely hope we can win this, and before I even get done speaking, we get swept 4-0. That sucks. Alex Antetokounmpo 4-4. Man, it is this man's career, man. He is close to done. 81 overall now. He is huge regression here at now the age of 36. I'm definitely assuming he's coming off the bench to start off the season. Yep, 7th man off the bench at an 81 overall. Rudolph Leonard gets like his 3rd or 4th MVP, which is kind of insane. Should not be on any of these, so I'm not even going to consider that. Do we make playoffs? No playoffs, 37 wins. That is tough. Let's look at the stats real quick. Alex Antetokounmpo, lackluster season, but it is what it is. At least we had those 2 or 3 seasons when he was averaging over 20 a game. So, getting to the end of his career right here, he did not sign with the team for that final year and sat in free agency. So, we are finally at our boy's retirement. Here he is right there, 77 overall, retiring from the league. Let's see if he made the Hall of Fame, and he did not make the Hall of Fame. That is tough, but obviously a very, very good career, and you can't really fault him at all. I don't know if he'll have any of these All-NBA records, so we're going to look through and see if we see his name. He did get a ton of rebounds, and maybe some of his defensive stats he might be up there, but I guess with his rebounds, he can't really compete with actual big men, so he's probably not on this list. He just did a lot of things pretty good, but I don't think that he honestly was crazy enough at any of them that he's going to be on these lists. As the blocks, you guys can see Giannis on there. but no Alex. And steals, I don't think that he's going to be on here. So I think that's about it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Let me know down below who you guys want me to do next. Thanks for watching. Peace.